Happy Easter weekend, y'all, for those of you who celebrate. And happy racing in Richmond. Yes, I'm excited. I hope to see those of you out there. I'll be in the fan zone quite a bit today. So come on out if you have fan zone tickets. And if you see me, say hi. Love to chit chat for a little bit. So before we get to talking about what's going on today, let's talk about COTA and all the things that happened in COTA. Because we have William Byron with his next win in the book. But we have some very unhappy people. Kyle Busch being one of them, which I feel like is nothing unusual. But this just so happens to be with a former teammate. Racing at COTA is definitely different, and for me, it brings out either the best of people or the worst of people. And I think that's true for all road courses. And we definitely got to see that full swing at COTA. Circuits of America. And oh boy, turn one, immediately chaos. They went in there like it seemed like 15 wide, but no, I'm exaggerating a little bit. And really, you can't go in there that wide. 15 or 5 wide. It is just too many, and melee ensued, honestly, from there. We had cars turning everywhere and issues on right there. Everybody got restarted. Everybody got moving again and heading in the right direction. We didn't see one full on caution other than between stage breaks this entire race. There was questions. Did William Byron have the needed long haul? I'm going to call it long haul speed. Or did he only have short haul speed? Well, we got to see that speed that he needed was there for all of it. Short and or long green flag racing. Even okay, yeah, we'll even call it long green flag racing because it's 3 miles around, even, one lap, 3 miles around. It was just insane. And, you had some really good road racers right up there at the front who he had to compete with. Tyler Reddick, which is defending. You also had Christopher Bell, who is also a really good road course racer in his own. And I believe Ty Gibbs has done very well in the Xfinity series. But he was also up there for a little while, battling it out. And then we even saw Ross Chastain. And I thought it was very hilarious how, they asked random drivers watching it on the television, who's the hardest driver to pass? And most people said, well, Ross Chastain. Even Ross. Ross, really? You said yourself? Alrighty there, bud. Got it. So Ross Chastain picked himself as even being one of the hardest drivers to pass. And he does put up quite a fight. when it comes to that. And, or as I lovely refer to him as Rosh Crashtain. So, because you just never know what's going to happen in that. We see that William Byron does hold off Christopher Bell and gets that win and continues to, gain those additional points that he needs towards building his needed points for the next level, aka end of regular season racing into playoff racing to assist. Christopher Bell did win stage 1. He brings us because he didn't pit. So there was drivers who did multiple strategies here because we were doing stage breaks. I still, for me, I don't like the stage breaks on the road courses. I don't know. They're not my thing. And I guess that's okay. Because for me, it does take some of the strategy out of what drivers and crew chiefs can do. I understand they're wanting to bunch them back up and be able to do things like that. I get that and I understand that, but it's not my thing. It just isn't. To me, that's not what road course racing is. But I'd have to digress, I guess. NASCAR wants it differently. I mean, we definitely get action no matter what. Throughout the entire race, I wish, this is my issue, is we don't get to see that on a road course. We don't get to see all the action that's happening on the road course, where there are battles and bumps and spins and all the craziness while it's happening. And we have to see a replay 90% of the time, because the road courses are, for the most part, so long. Having the ability sometimes to properly cover them is not the easiest or the best. I'm not gonna bash certain groups and their coverage, even though I don't like cartoon character people either. That's just me too. People are people. But I digress. Like, one of my favorite moments of the race was in stage 2, where Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Kamami, I probably butchered it. I'm sorry, I can't say it. The driver of the 23XI additional car, they got into it. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. bumped him, probably not on purpose, maybe on purpose. I don't know. We couldn't see what built up that. But he got into him, spun him. Well, here he comes back, and he does the same thing right on back to Ricky Stenhouse Jr. I'm like, yes! This is what I want to see. Why couldn't I see that? Why couldn't I see the build up to that? Yay for the leader. I'm excited. But when a leader's got like 4 second lead, can I see the rest of the racing, please? Can I see Bubba Wallace, being spun with contact with Brad Keselowski? And, the contact with Kyle Larson. I want to see all those contacts and people getting spun off course and going wide and going off course. Because to me, I enjoy that. So let's do that, please. Thank you. Let's find a way to figure it out, people. So stage 2, Denny Hamlin wins stage 2 because he stays out in stage 2. Because people, again, 2 different, multiple strategies. Some did like, oh, we're going to come down, we're going to get fuel and tires here at the end of stage 1. Then we'll get some more later. Then some had like, we'll get fuel midway through stage 2, and then about midway through stage 3 for fuel and tires. And then other people did something a little bit different. They kind of did like a little bit of each stage, getting fuel and tires, or just fuel if needed. This is where, we see multiple people. We see Ross Chastain in the lead. We see, we have William Byron, and we have Christopher Bell. And then we get the final winner of William Byron. So yeah, I definitely want to see more definitely more funness of overall road course racing. I want to be able to see more. It's just that way it's fun. It makes it funner for everyone. So we are at Richmond though, but before we talk about Richmond, we've had some things happen throughout the week. And some engagements happen. Harrison Burton and his longtime girlfriend Jenna got engaged this week. So congratulations, Harrison. We have another happily engaged couple, NASCAR couple here. Super, super exciting on that front, which is fabulous. I'm very excited for them. It was beautiful proposal, actually, in New York. There were a lot of questions. A lot of people were not very happy with the road course constraints. With COTA, and a lot of questionings about that. Like with the Roval, if you miss a section, there a lot of times there's a place where you can pull off, serve your penalty, keep going. They didn't have that with COTA. And that's due to the fact that, we rent that track. That is not an owned track by us or an owned track by NASCAR. So it was definitely something different. We did see a lot of penalties for drivers who were deemed cutting the track, or in some situations we did see where they showed Chase Elliott, he had to make a correction because he had an issue, but he got penalized due to that issue and had to serve a penalty for it. There were other drivers, I'm just right off the top of my mind. I can think about Chase Elliott. So that really was a hot topic conversation this week, across the board about those. And are we going to have those elsewhere? So we'll have to wait and see how that's going to play out. We had a disqualification as well from COTA, and that was Justin Haley with the car being too light post-race inspection. And yes, they can fill the car full of gas and top off any fluids before going through inspection, but the car was still too light. So that, changed a lot of things. They decided not to appeal that inspection at all. They did take Ross Chastain's car back to R&D, but I did not see any issues overall or penalties come out from that from Ross Chastain. I'm gonna double check on that, but I didn't see anything. No, not seeing anything. Yeah, no, I'm not seeing anything. Yeah. But NASCAR officials say there is work to be done after dozens of penalties were called during COTA. Yeah, I would definitely say there is work to be done and figuring that out. Because Lord have mercy, that was a lot. 100%, that was a lot. And we just, that was just too much. And they needed some assistance on that. And then there was the question as well of NASCAR on Easter. How is this working? So, or why are we doing this? So Saturday, they ended the Xfinity Series pretty early, a little before 5 o'clock in the evening, but qualifying and practice for the Cup Series drivers ended early. So if they wanted to fly back to Charlotte to spend time with their families for Easter, they were able to. And then the garage doesn't open until 4 p.m. For today's race. So they are able to fly back into Richmond to be able to come for the race today. So it's one of those, they did a nighttime race to be able to ensure that, they could have Easter Sunday with their family if they chose to celebrate that, and be able to work within, some parameters. And I was like, okay, I get that too. But at the same time, I'm like, seriously? But again, Darlington usually does Mother's Day, so, which is always pretty cool. I know that they have all kinds of awesome activities planned at Richmond as well. So no shortage of things to do at the racetrack. So if you're heading, you have plenty to do. As they were heading in to set up everything when we went over on Thursday, but they had already set up a great deal of it. But Lori Warner and her whole team have been preparing. There's a new Richmond logo. They have been working very hard to redo everything and change up Richmond quite a bit. So super excited to see everything that they're bringing to the Richmond area and just the Richmond track in general. So we of course had drama at the Xfinity Series race at Richmond that could lead to a penalty. Joey Gase kindly threw his bumper yesterday at a driver. He was not happy with the outside, the outcome of being spun. I guess I don't blame him too much. And so yeah, he took his back bumper cover off and tossed it at another driver. And then JD Motorsports, Garrett Smithley was driving the number 6, but Morgan Bard did welcome a new baby. So congratulations to that family, which is super exciting as well. You can't disagree with missing a race for a baby, because it was scary. They welcomed baby Brody on the 29th of March at 11 p.m. So they had some scary moments though, so I'm glad everything worked out. And then NASCAR did announce that Martin Truex Jr. will have an axle torque sensor on his car to gather data while at Richmond this weekend. So he will definitely be collecting some data. They said it's more so to use in case another car comes in the future. Joey Gase threw his rear cover at Dawson Cram. So shall be very interesting. It doesn't look like it's going to be a suspension. It should be a fine for him. And Matt Benedetto also raced his first race in an Xfinity Series with Viking Motors in the number 38 at Richmond. So he was pretty exciting. He is officially going Xfinity Racing. He announced it on the 20th, actually. And he kicked it off at Richmond this weekend. So, with Viking Motorsports and a Ford, which is super exciting for him. He's also racing at Millridge. And I'm trying to think anything else big happen. I feel like, they did announce that Ty Dillon will be racing in 5 races as well. So Ty Dillon starts his racing this weekend as well at Richmond. Whew, there's a lot going on at Richmond this weekend. So, if you're not going to Richmond, you need to be, because clearly Richmond is the place to be. Because Lord have mercy, everything's going down. So congratulations, as of right now, to the Xfinity guys on their win. And I hope whatever beef that Joey Gase has gets smashed quickly. Bumper covered. I guess some lucky kid will probably walk away with that rear cover, which is pretty cool. So tonight we are going racing though. It is a night race, y'all. Richmond under the lights finally. So it's not gonna be too hot, but it might get a little chilly. So make sure you bring a jacket. Just be on the safe side. Engines will be fired around 7:08. Green flag 7:15. Drivers meeting 6:10. Want to be there for drivers introduction 6:30 if you're in the fan zone. Kristen Labonte will be given the invocation at 7 o'clock. And then we are going 400 laps for 300 miles on the 0.75 mile track. It's kind of a D shape, y'all. So stage 1 is 70 laps. Stage 2 ends at 2:30. And then the last one ends at 400. We do have, it's going to be a high of 69 degrees. And there is a chance of rain as of right now for tomorrow's start of the race, which is somehow not shocking because it is racing in Richmond. It never, ever, ever fails. And right now, we have a Hendrick Motorsports starting lineup with Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott, followed by Ross Chastain, Alex Bowman, Bubba Wallace, Todd Gilliland, Martin Truex Jr., Ty Gibbs, Austin Cindric, and Joey Logano. 14 Chevrolets, 8 Toyotas, and 14 Fords. And we have 36 total drivers on the track for today. So that track gonna be busy. Be prepared. People will go down laps. This is no doubt in my mind. Tempers will flare as we've seen in the Xfinity with Joey. There will be some bumps and bruises. Now, whether there'll be cautions or not, I don't know. We are running the same tire as we ran at Phoenix. At Richmond, we are not running the same tire as we ran at Bristol. Bristol's is a concrete tire. So we are running the same tire as Phoenix. So we'll have to see how this goes. There is no PJ1 going down at Richmond either. So we'll have to wait and see how everything plays out. But again, if you see myself, come on, say hi. Love to meet you. I will be in and out and around the fan zone quite often today at Richmond and this afternoon into this evening. And look forward to a great evening of Richmond racing. And then the following weekend, we're in Martinsville. Who's going to take home the grandfather clock? No one knows yet. But we've got another short track. And some more tempers will flare really, really quickly. So, man, oh man. 2 Virginia races. And people have already drawn on Denny Hamlin's face on the wall. Let's prepare ourselves for the boos that are coming for him. That's all I got. Because, somehow he magically forgets about the locals. Always. But we always remind him, hey, you forget about Richmond. But we don't forget about you, Denny. All right. I'll see y'all at the chat, and have a good one. Bye, y'all.